What's going on YouTube? Stealing Likes here, and you guys have caught me once again handing the cookie jar out here trying to snatch me some likes.
Alright, day number 2 of the International Challenge, and obviously getting ready to throw down my 39th and 40th battles. Right now I've got a record of 20 and 18, so positive for the day. I actually did take a loss in that last battle you guys saw for the disconnect. Unfortunately. Oh. Alright, so I'm going to have to come back in just a second as I see my opponent from Germany. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Didn't realize I had no recording time left. Anyway, so my opponent, I've seen a lot of really common threats here recently. My opponent's running Venusaur, Kangaskhan, Smeargle, Gardevoir, Talonflame, and Aegislash. Now, obviously, I've changed it up. I'm actually not running just the Parasong Gengar lead anymore. But I will be running a Gengar lead due to the fact that I feel like Aegislash could show up, and it's going to be scared of me. Now, the only thing that really worries me, actually, Aegislash might not lead. It might be Kangaskhan. I'm not certain. But Kangaskhan's a problem. Kangaskhan's always a problem. Now, pretty much the decision comes down to, right now I've got Tyranitar and Gengar as leads, and then Greninja in the backfield, mostly for Venusaur. If it's not Mega Venusaur, then I really want to bring Furfrou, and I really want to bring Rotom. I'm going to bring Furfrou. It's a better physical wall. Now, I did that with 10 seconds to spare, so I think a minute 20. Not really certain exactly where my opponent wants to lead, but a lot of common pokes. And I've noticed that, like, I had 2 fights over the 1600s, and the rest of them had all been in the 1500s and lower. It seems like the common pokes only really show up in that 1500 range, which I'm kind of thankful for. Now, my opponent obviously leading Tyranitar, or my opponent, I'm obviously leading Tyranitar Gengar. They lead Talonflame Smeargle. Now this Smeargle is probably going to Dark Void. I've actually seen a Smeargle based completely on that build earlier today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for the Rock Slide with my Tyranitar, and then I'm going to Protect on Gengar. I'm going to hide the Mega Evolution for a minute, just so they can keep wondering exactly where it's coming from. So, Gengar obviously throwing down the Protect. Talonflame might be throwing down a Brave Bird here. Oh! Smeargle tossed up a Spiky Shield. Well, now that's awesome. Talonflame throws down a Tailwind, which obviously not a fan of the Tailwind here. So, not exactly what I saw earlier today. That Talonflame might be just dead. Yeah, that Talonflame's just dead. If you're all wondering, there's a wall variant on Talonflame I've seen. It actually will live one of those, despite the double weakness. Now, everything's getting buffeted by sand. At this point, I don't expect Aegislash to show up. But if it does, it does. Oh, it's Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan is here. So now, my Rock Slides are kind of useless. The question becomes, do I switch? I mean, I've got Greninja and Furfrou. I'm actually going to switch Tyranitar out for Furfrou. And Gengar is going to Mega Evolve and Parasong? Yeah, I'm going to Mega Evolve and Parasong. So my opponent probably has no clue what's happening here. Just because this is probably the oddest doubles team I've ever run. Only due to the fact that I don't really run doubles very often, but out of all of them, I've not seen a Parasong Gengar. However, I feel like it's a whole bunch of fun, as it's the only Pokemon who can Arena Trap, well, Shadow Tag, and run the Parasong. Now, there are other ways to trap, obviously, like Infestation is a way. Pretty much anything that's partial trapping. Kangaskhan Power-Up Punches on my Furfrou, which Furfrou is obviously not a big fan of that, but it's still happening nonetheless. But without the stab, it's really not that threatening. And, Smeargle missed the Dark Void on everything. That has to be a rare chance. I really expected the Dark Void way earlier in this matchup, though. So, Kangaskhan and Smeargle, now the fastest pokes on the field, which that Tailwind can win games. It is absolutely terrifying. So, I'm going to go for a Cotton Guard on Furfrou and going for the first Protect on Gengar. I might double Protect in this one just to keep Gengar from really feeling the pain. I shouldn't have done Cotton Guard on Furfrou. I should have just switched out. However, nope, I should have just switched. Because even though it could end up being a 2-on-1 at the end of this matchup, kind of a painful moment. And that's still just a could be. There's no guarantee on it. But what I'm looking at right now is Kangaskhan goes for the stab return. That did a lot of damage. That did a ton of damage. Wow. The Cotton Guard is now effectively useless. So, Smeargle transformed into me. It's about to be furious. It has one attack, and it can't hit Furfrou. So, I mean, I can definitely live with it, but I'm going to have to double protect just because that Smeargle now has Shadow Ball, and I don't really want my Gengar dying. I mean, obviously, it could. It could still go down to the failed protect, because I think it's probably just a 50% chance, now that I think about it. But I'm actually going to have Furfrou and Gengar protect, just to see if I can peter out one more turn. Oh, Gengar succeeds at the double protect. And Furfrou really didn't need to protect there, as it's pretty much going to live anyway. Now, the power-up punch on Furfrou does no good. So I finally get to see the end of this Kangaskhan without arguments. Obviously sending the sand around one last time. Oh, I do have 2 Pokemon hidden, don't I? Because they didn't drop Tyranitar. So I can actually swap out both. Oh, and the Tailwind's gone. The Tailwind is over. I'm considering leaving Furfrou in, just because it would only be for the sake of the final score. Yeah, I'm going to leave Furfrou in. I'm going to leave it in. I'm going to toss up... Doesn't really matter. I could go for the stab return, just to show Kangaskhan the business. And Gengar is actually going to switch out for Greninja. Just because if Greninja does live the turn... Oh, that's funny. Because of the transform, it's able to switch out because it picked up Gengar's ghost typing. And it traced my Shadow Tag. Not that it can actually keep me in. I don't know if you guys know this or not. Shadow Tag won't work on a switch in or a switch out. So Kangaskhan goes down. It's still 2-on... it's 2-on-3 actually. The Sandstorm tapers down. I could go for another Perish Song here. And that wouldn't really hurt my feelings. Actually, knowing that the Tailwind's down and knowing that Gardevoir doesn't like the Ghost type, I might do that. Yeah, I'm going to go for Gengar. Especially since I feel like their last Pokemon's Aegislash. And Aegislash also wouldn't appreciate... It's not their last Pokemon. What am I doing? They open with Smeargle and Talonflame. Wait a minute, that is. Maybe I'm clearly not remembering killing a Pokemon somewhere in here. But Gengar is once again going to... Am I going to go for the Perish Song? Yeah. No. I could just go for the Shadow Ball. And show Gardevoir a bad day. I think I might just show Gardevoir a legitimate bad day. I've got 16 seconds to make a decision. Shadow Ball. Gardevoir's got special defense. I'm going to go for the Perish Song, just to be safe. Then Greninja is actually going to go for... I was thinking about the Protect, then I realized Dark Void probably has more than one power point. Oh, and I auto-selected. That's terrible. I probably did, in fact, go for Yeah, it did go auto protect, which is I'm thankful for. I did decide on that. I just never got to click it. Now Gengar tosses down another Perish Song. I don't think it's possible for this team to win. Smeargle transformed into Greninja, and that thing uses Psychic. Clearly that's going to kill Gengar. Now I'm left with my Mega Tyranitar and what else do I have? Mega Tyranitar. Oh, and Greninja. Duh. So, what would this Smeargle... This Smeargle has really low base hit points. I'm going to put the Sandstream back up, obviously. Now, Gardevoir would hate to feel a crunch. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for the crunch on Gardevoir, and then Greninja is going to go for the Ice Beam on Smeargle. I know that sounds stupid, but the truth is I'm almost speed tying with Smeargle, so I want to try and take it down as fast as possible, and I don't want to kill my own Tyranitar. Smeargle goes for the Surf, obviously switching up with Protean, and this is not really going to hurt Tyranitar's feelings as much as they're hoping. However, this crunch might hurt a lot of feelings. That is... Oh, it's a neutral crunch. Duh. Oh, Greninja goes down. Greninja went down, which means I actually lost this match. Huh. Unless... Nope. It did not do enough damage in the buffeting. Now, Gardevoir's the only one left with a Perish count. Just realized that as well. Crunching on the Gardevoir... Even though Smeargle's the bigger threat. I should have... that was a misplay on my part. I should have crunched the Smeargle because it's going to be faster by a little bit. Actually, how is it faster? That's a good question. But yeah, there's the Surf. The Surf actually might kill. The Surf does kill Gardevoir and my Tyranitar. Oh, it was a crit. Okay. I was going to say, the crit probably didn't matter. It just would have had to have been a high damage roll. But that's it for match 1. So currently I think I'm +1 right now. I think I'm +1. I could be wrong. But we will find out here in about just 5 seconds. You guys sit tight and I'll be right back. Alright, ready to get going in this next matchup. I've got 20 and 19. My opponent's rated an even 1500. So it's possible they didn't even participate yet. I can't really tell. They brought Charizard, Salamence, Mamoswine, Manectric, Aegislash, and Aerodactyl. Now, Aerodactyl is actually the scariest thing I see here. I know it's probably shocking to hear. I'm going to lead with Tyranitar. However, I also want to lead with my Venusaur. I know that sounds crazy. It sounds like crazy talk, but it's not. Greninja's going to be in the backfield. And then in addition to Greninja, I'm actually going to bring Rotom. And we're going to confirm that. Wait to see what my opponent picks. I'm really concerned that that's a Scarfed Mamoswine. If you all don't know, Scarfed Mamoswine, that thing, it does have some power in there. It's hidden deep down inside that big Pokemon's belly. But it's there, nonetheless. So... I mean, that obviously concerns me. I'm not too concerned with Charizard. I am, however, concerned with Aegislash, especially if it's special attacking Aegislash, which is completely a possibility. Now, I mean, I've seen more Sword Snaking Aegislashes in this competition. My opponent leads with 2 flying Pokemon. Now, unless this is Mega Aerodactyl, I actually outspeed. So I'm going to first turn go for a Rock Slide. And then I'm going to follow up on Venusaur with just a simple Protect. Now, Charizard is Charizard Y. I'm wanting to see if any of my opponent's Pokemon Protect. Because I'm not certain if Tyranitar is faster than our Aerodactyl or not. It depends on the nature. It very much so depends on the nature. Now, Charizard protects. So Charizard does know to fear the power. Venusaur protects. So Aerodactyl did not. Now, Aerodactyl is faster, and he he takes away my chance of outspeeding by putting up a Tailwind. Now that Tailwind is really going to cause me some problems later on in the game. And not a Focus Sash. Alright. So now, I'm going to have to go for obviously another Rock Slide. I'm choiced. But Venusaur can't stick around. So I'm actually going to go into Rotom. Let's see here. What's my opponent going to do? I think my opponent's probably actually going to go for a Solar Beam with Charizard. And probably some type of flying move with the Aerodactyl if they have one. Oh, they go for Wide Guard. Wide Guard will stop me from doing any damage. Huh. Whereas the Heat Wave resisted by all my Pokemon. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be going for... Wait, Wide Guard... I don't remember if it has a fail chance or not. Just to be on the safe side, I'm actually going to switch out Tyranitar for Greninja at the moment. And then Rotom is going to maybe pull a simple Volt Switch. You know, a simple Volt Switch feels fine from the Rotom to the Aerodactyl. Now, I'm certain that they're all faster than Rotom and Greninja. Well, Greninja's not doing anything. Oh, it goes for some nastiness right there. Charizard goes for the Solar Beam, absorbs the light. That was a bad play on my part. Completely forgot about me predicting the Solar Beam earlier. So Greninja is actually going to fall. Now, this gives me a couple options in all reality. Oh, but Rotom flinched and couldn't move. So Rotom not going to be sticking around for much longer, I don't think. I'm going to put Venusaur out there. And I'm actually going to Protect up just to try and peter out some of this Tailwind and this Sunlight. Do I go for a Protect on both? Yeah, I feel like Aerodactyl is probably going to go for yet another set of Rock Slides. So I really want to see. The Wide Guard would have been helpful here had that really seemed like the likelihood. But I was more worried about protecting my Pokemon en masse. Now, Charizard's Heat Wave is protected. I'm guessing that Aerodactyl already moved. I didn't see what move he used. However, we've got Tailwind is out. So now, Aerodactyl is probably going to take some time to put up another situation back there. I'm actually going to switch out Venusaur for Tyranitar. And then Rotom is going to go for the Volt Switch on the Aerodactyl, because if it's taking its time to set up the Tailwind, I'm going to punish it for it. I have to. It's pretty much my only option. Now, Tyranitar being back in is going to remove the Sunlight from Charizard and bring his attacks down a bit. Charizard actually went for the Protect, which is a good call. Now, Aerodactyl went for another Tailwind. Now, this is pretty much the situation I saw coming. All I have to do is Volt Switch off of Aerodactyl, and I should be good for another turn. I'll live to die another day, it looks like. However, we're tied 3-3, and I'm really not in the best situation. I do realize that. Tailwind's power. Between Tailwind and Sticky Web, Sticky Web wins games. However, I use Bulbapedia for a lot of my research. So guys, in the comment section below, question of the day. How does Sticky Web work in doubles? Do you target one space or both? Because I got some really confusing mixed answers out of Bulbapedia, where Sticky Web only affects one Pokemon on your opponent's side of the field. So do you target one and then it affects both spots? I don't really know. Oh, that's Mamoswine. That is all bad. So Mamoswine is obviously going to possibly cause some big problems for Tyranitar. Whereas Venusaur doesn't care this turn. I'm just going for the Protect. Now, I do know that Charizard is currently faster. Mamoswine might also currently be faster as well. Venusaur goes for the Heat Wave, which obviously Tyranitar doesn't care too much about. But, yeah, Mamoswine's faster, and that Earthquake is going to hurt feelings. Actually, it's going to kill. Who am I kidding about hurting feelings? That's going to kill. So, the Earthquake kills. I'm down to just Venusaur. This is a lost match, I have a feeling. A very, very lost match. Now, Mamoswine is life-orbed. It's life-orbed with a tailwind. That is beautiful. I would like to give it up to my opponent. I have no idea who this person is. I can only hope that they saw my... Oh, that's not my last Pokemon. I have Rotom. I have Rotom. Now, I don't know who my opponent is. I hope that they know what the tagline for my character in game is, because I walk around and my tagline says StealingLikes YT, which is just a YouTube tag. I really hope my opponent stops by the channel, because I want to find out more about this Mamoswine. That thing is power. Now, in other news, though, I have to get back to this current battle. I'm going to attempt to burn the Mamoswine, and then... I almost have to Sludge Bomb the Charizard. Like, that's my choice at this point. I'm going to Sludge Bomb Charizard. But for the most part, yeah, I already knew that was coming. I don't know if Venusaur is going to live that at all. Venusaur doesn't live that one. And Rotom is probably going to go down here in a second to like a Stone Edge. A Rock Slide. A Rock Slide takes out Rotom. So I go down 3-0. I do hope you guys enjoyed that one. I will be bringing... Yeah, so much for a late night recording, right? I'm actually going to be bringing this one today, and then somewhere around 10 o'clock tonight, I'll be bringing part 3 or day 3 of the tournament. So you guys have a nice day. I'll be back later on. So until then, I don't know, have fun.